In April, all eyes were on Sudan as a war between the government and militia broke out. We watched it on TV, but two women from Augusta experienced it firsthand.
They didn't know if they would ever get back to America, but they did. They shared their incredible story of escape with me, and this morning we share it with you.
We went there to share the gospel, and just 8 hours after landing, it became a trip of survival.
When they left Augusta for Sudan, Kelly Cardona and Megan Lambert knew this would be a mission trip to remember, but not the way they thought. Kelly was about to preach when gunfire broke out.
We were told that it was too dangerous to go back to our hotels and that they had started bombing the airport, and they needed to get us to a safe house.
In the States, we were watching this unfold on TV, a violent civil war between the militia and Sudanese army. In Sudan, Kelly and Megan were experiencing it firsthand.
As we were driving to the safe house, people attacked our car. We were fine through that, obviously, but they were physically hitting on the car, trying to get in.
At the safe house, the conditions were tough.
It's very hot, so there were days that the temperature reached 108, 109, and we don't have power.
No showers, only the clothes on their back. Food rationing was a real thing, and the fighting was getting closer and closer.
We start really hearing the bombings and the heavy artillery. We know it's getting heavier because it's getting louder and the house is shaking.
8 days in that safe house, then plans came through to get them to Port Sudan, but the window of opportunity to do that was just a few hours.
So we were going through our local contacts and convinced a local, I believe he was a pastor,
yes,
to drive us across the city and kind of
in the middle of the fighting.
Middle of the fighting. Every time he would see a militia person or a military person, he would just dart around the corner so that we wouldn't have to engage with them.
The pair eventually made it on board a ship supplied by the King of Saudi Arabia to get them across the Red Sea to that country, a 24-hour boat ride.
There were 2,500 people on the boat and 3 women's restrooms, and so it was excruciating.
The pair made it to Saudi Arabia, then America, landing in Atlanta in a fog about what just happened.
It's surreal. It's very hard to digest and accept and process.
They went to Sudan to spread the gospel in a country that tries to suppress it. Now, as they reflect, they realize their purpose for being there was even bigger than they once thought.
The mission quickly changed, and it was like the Lord was doing a work in us.